GMC, it's the best. Oh my. Headaches and hassles and winter. Forgot to put the batteries on charge. They're dead. I think the warranty's up. I was going to remove the starter and have it rebuilt. Never got around to it. It's been sitting here for a year and a half waiting for that moment. I brought this back last August from Elgin, Arizona, south of Tucson, where I bought my tow truck. And it ran great, drove it around. It's not perfect, but it is, what, 93? So 97, sorry, 97. So it's got electronic diesel injection. And the PMD is mounted, I forget. Some mice were nibbling on the wires on this thing. I'm gonna make this video brief. The idler tensioner seemed to be tensioning the belt too tight, so I changed it for a different one. And the belt is still too tight. It just seems like it's gonna beat up the water pump and whatever other bearings or bushings there are, but I think it's in the adjustment area between there and there. I don't know why that belt seems so tight. I changed the idler tensioner. Get them from the junkyard. Guaranteed they're made in China, Korea, Taiwan, Indonesia, wherever. But the reason this thing isn't starting, I think I just discovered. I can't believe how rusty this thing is getting just sitting here. I think I just discovered why it's not starting. Well, give me a second. I just repaired the block heater plug. It was torn off and I couldn't pull it out because it was bolted onto the frame under the power steering cooler line. So I repaired it. And I don't hear it hissing, and my tester shows that it's hot on both sides. So if something is wrong, it could be melted in the block, but why would they use it in southern Arizona? But the reason I'm going to make this video is I'm going to show you why this is hard starting. What I think is the reason, and the clue is here. Oil on the frame. What could that oil be? Well, I crawled underneath to check my block heater wires, and it looks kosher. Somewhere in there. Everything looks all right, but you can't really get in there. And I wanted to drive this thing and park it for the winter indoors. But look at this. I've got a fuel lift pump, another word for a fuel pump. And they use a smaller fitting one, a 5/16, not a 3/8. That nut there is a 3/8 nut. They use a universal piece of junk one to save a few bucks. We all want to save money, but sometimes you don't save anything. And the fuel line has ruptured. Let's see if I can get in close. You can take a look. Look at that fuel line. And I think it's sucking air because it's on the suction side, on the fuel tank side. Now that may not have been that way last year when I first bought this truck, but it drove fine out west. When I got it back here, boy, did I have trouble getting it running, and that may be why. Maybe sucking a bit of air. So the pump can't prime, so I've got to get either an adapter to use this pump or change the fuel pump, the fuel lift pump, the diesel priming pump, call it what you want. Little exhaust leak over here, and those little retaining clips that hold on the oil pressure cooler lines, little paper clips, suicide. Should be a double system, but there's not. Got a bit of rust. Where'd that bolt go? Look, it only had two. So that's the brief story on my 1997 GMC It's the Best dually diesel 4x4. Sucking air, not starting, over-tightened belt, and my block heater that's got power on both sides. So that indicates another problem we'll have to look into. We got the S10 Blazer. I'm going to put that in the garage for the winter too.